Time for another book review. My sort of annual book review. I'm not a big reader. I mean, you can see all the books that I've read in the past couple years right there. And I've pretty much reviewed all of them. Actually, the bottom one I haven't read, it's the Scott Lang biography, which if you don't know who Scott Lang is, that's Ant-Man, like the actual fictional character Scott Lang. They made the biography from the movie into a real biography. I wanted it because I thought it was funny, I thought it was cute, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna read it since it's not a real biography. I don't know, maybe one of these days I'll actually read it. But we're talking about Hank Rogers, The Perfect Game. Obviously, I love all things Game Boy, and I definitely love Tetris. I mean, if you couldn't tell by the shirt I'm wearing, retroremaster.com. But anyways, first off, point blank, it's a good read. It's a decent sized book. Mine did come pre-damaged, which was unfortunate. There's like scuffs in the cover, which it's one of those scratchy ones that changes when you look at it from different angles because all the Tetris blocks falling. Very cool. However, points docking it already because that makes it a $38 book. And as of right now, that is still $38 on Amazon at least. I got this as a Christmas gift, and I highly doubt that my sister actually paid $38 for this. I believe it was on sale because I think I told her a couple times when it was on sale. I do like my books to be hardcover, but I do wish there was a slipcover because I don't actually have a bookmark. So I just had like a piece of a candy box that I tore off and used that as a bookmark because I didn't want to like dog ear the pages, even though this is already pretty beat up, even though I got it brand new. But I did take this on vacation with me. I had started it over Christmas. I didn't really get reading it until I was on vacation. And about the first third of the book is just going over his early life because it's not only about Tetris, it's about Hank's entire life up until the current day, which this came out in 2024. So pretty current, pretty up to date. And I believe he wrote this because he wanted to have his side of the story alongside of the Tetris movie that came out a few years back on Apple TV, which is a great movie. Great watch. Go watch it because watching that movie whenever it came out made me want to read this when it came out, and then reading this makes me want to watch the movie again. And I don't know why I didn't watch it again before recording this video, but hey, here we are. But like I was saying, about the first third of this book is about his early life before we even get to the video game side of his career. It was pretty interesting. I mostly like to read autobiographies, and normally, no offense to any of these people, I don't really care for like the early stages of your life. With Reggie Fils-Aimé, that was probably the most interesting of all of the books that I've read, their like early upbringing and stuff. At first, I was like, yeah, no offense, Hank. I don't really care about that. I want to get to the Tetris stuff. But it's kind of crazy. All of the places that he grew up. I don't want to like spoil everything, even though you could read it in 5 seconds on Wikipedia, probably. It actually was pretty interesting, the early part. So it wasn't as interesting, obviously, as the rest of the book. And that's probably why it took me a while to get through the book. But once I was on vacation was when I got to about that first third of the book. And once you get to the part where he's making bulletproof soft, literally could not put the book down. Every morning during breakfast, I was reading the book on vacation. We were in Hawaii, which is kind of fitting for the book. And I would read it on the beach. I'd read it by the pool. I'd read it out on the lanai. It really captured my attention once you got to the video game side of it. And it's crazy. From what I remember from the movie, it kind of depicted him in a way that he was more of like oh, I see this game and I want that. And it kind of felt like he was more taking control and making it about him. But from his side, it doesn't sound like that at all. And so I was really glad to read his side of things because he just saw this game for what it was and knew that it needed to be shared with the world. The vibe I kind of got from the movie was, I know that this is going to make a lot of money, so I want it kind of thing. And even though it is a really good and exciting film, I like his side of it a little bit more because Hank does give off a very humble vibe, and I like a humble person. What can I say? And even once we got past the big Russia Tetris arc of the story, when he goes into more of the present day stuff, you're still hooked. You're not. It doesn't slow down. Again, I don't want to spoil it, even though it's his life story. It's not like a fictional story. It's real. I don't want to spoil it. I also didn't realize that like he made his own game, the Black Onyx. That was pretty dang popular in Japan. And well, I did just say he sounded humble and it sounded better hearing his side of the story about the Tetris part. It kind of sounds like he's crediting himself for Japan getting into RPGs. I don't know if he meant it that way. I mean, maybe he was. Maybe he was the catalyst or one of the catalysts to get RPGs to be so big in Japan. Because I mean, like so many games are now JRPGs instead of just RPGs. The Black Onyx, even though I'm not really a big RPG fan, he made it sound interesting and I kind of want to play it. I wish there was like a Game Boy version of it. I think there might be a Game Boy Color demake. I don't know if it's an official one or what, but I might end up playing it because of this, if that is something that's out there. And if there's not, Hank, even I know you're busy, but you should just for fun port the Black Onyx to Game Boy Color, maybe Game Boy Advance. I think that'd be cool. Hank's not watching this video. At the very end of the book, in the appendices, he listed out every single version of Tetris. And the last one, at least when they published the book, was the 264th version of Tetris, Tetris Forever, that released in 2024. Do they have the Red Bull can on here? I don't think so. Do they have the Tetris chicken nugget on here? They have Tetris X Coca-Cola, whatever that is. It's just, okay. There it is. 254 McDonald's China 2023. They just called it Tetris. I don't. Oh, Red Bull right there. That was from 2019. Unless this is a different one. Tetris Mindbender. I don't know, but there's a lot of versions of Tetris. There's no Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S on here because I believe that came out in 2025. So there's at least 265. They even have like in-flight Tetris and all this stuff. Tetris for Game Boy was the 8th version of Tetris. That's crazy. They've got V Tetris here and 3D Tetris that are both for the Virtual Boy. 25 and 27. I actually own the 27th version of Tetris. Interesting. But anyways, yeah, it's a decent sized book and it is very interesting. The chapters are kind of weird. They're not really like chapter 1, chapter 2 or anything like that. It's broken up into so many different sections. So there's a lot of stopping points, which is kind of nice. But I feel like it's 300 something pages because it's broken up so many times. Because you have the Yamauchi chapter and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. That is probably one of the longer ones. I was not expecting it to be that long. 2 week, 1, 2, 3. It's 3 pages. And then we're on to Design Legend, another 3.5 pages. Like it's just like, it almost feels a little choppy, but at the same time, it's not too out of order. Sometimes he jumps around a little bit, but it's not too jarring. He has Alexei that actually made the original Tetris. He has him cut in whenever he wants to maybe give his side of the story or correct things, whatever. I think that's awesome. And they didn't correct his English at all. And I think it's kind of cute. Yeah. Overall, it's a good book. And the last thing I want to point out that I don't think it's a spoiler. If you look over here, is kind of a little flip book of playing a game of Tetris. A cool little addition to the book. Overall, if you want to know about the story of Tetris, or if you really enjoyed the Tetris movie like I did, I think this is a good read. I'll have a link down below. If you want it physically, wait for a sale. As good as this book is, as much as I liked it, I don't think it's worth $38, especially because it did come damaged. It's definitely more worn for me taking it on vacation, but hey, I would like a cleaner copy for $38. If I'm spending $38 on a book, I want it to not have scratches and stuff. That may be more of an Amazon issue than a Hank Rogers issue.